everyone, and welcome to Dream Chasers. I am your host, Watchin, and I'm very excited about our guest today because if you've been on the blog, you know that he's been a friend of the But Now family for such a long time. So, Fedel, thank you for joining us again today.
Not a problem. Happy to be here.
My grandmama tried to tell me I'm my mother's child. Step off the stage and people seriously wonder how I ain't J and I ain't Ye, but man, I run the town. But what good is winning battles when you want the crown?
So I went to Frederick Douglass Academy, which is a good school in New York,
okay.
Uptown Harlem. It's a pretty good high school. The area that it's in, though, isn't, I guess, the best area.
Okay.
And so we were fortunate enough to have one of my good friends and a couple other students got together and found funding for them to build a recording studio in the on the third floor of our school.
Okay.
We kind of developed or transformed what was a hobby into kind of what we wanted to be a career, what I still want to be, you know, my career. So yeah, I would say like around 8th, 9th, 10th grade is when it really started to culminate for me.
So you have two full-time jobs pretty much right now. So
yeah.
the music is full-time, and then you have a 9 to 5 that's
Exactly.
full-time that helps finance the dream.
Exactly.
So for you, what does it mean to chase your dream? Like in terms of what things are you doing? Are you cold calling people? Do you have management? Do you have representation?
Yeah.
How does that? What does that take?
Well, it's crazy because the game, kind of the industry that I think fell in love with, you know, years ago when I was a teenager, is somewhat different from how it is now. So back then, you could have met, I don't know, Leo Cohen or someone who's big in Kevin Lyles or some exec in the industry on the street, and you know, you spit for him or you play him one of your songs, and they'd be like, "Wow, this kid is dope. He's really talented. Let's sign him today." Regardless of what following that person has, regardless of if that person's ever released a mixtape or anything. Whereas now, they would sacrifice how talented the person is for more of a following. So if you say, it's less about, oh, I meet Kevin Lyles on the street and show him I'm a dope lyricist or a songwriter. It's more about if I meet him, if his son hears about me on the internet, and I say on Twitter, and then I have 2 million followers there. If there's a big following and then they listen to the music and the music isn't as good, they might, you know, kind of be willing to kind of, I guess, sacrifice that part in order to make it so. Which I understand, like it's a business at the end of the day, you know. But in terms of what you're asking, like how do I then make it into a reality? It's learning to adjust with the times. Okay. And so really becoming better at kind of the social media outlets and really becoming better at, you know, I filmed my first video under a year ago. Okay. Since then I've done 4. Maybe tomorrow, LA, Badu joint, I Just Wanna Fly. And they're all up on YouTube. They've been on a bunch of blogs. So me getting recognition from those places, I think is showing that I'm willing to play the game the way that they're trying to play it now. I think moving forward, it's just, you know, finding more opportunities, keep performing, keep going to events, networking, shaking hands, rubbing elbows, and, you know, seeing what comes of it.
In the ER, never would have thought at 21 that boy would see God. I just want fly, clear the runway. Yeah, I booked the one way. Grandma always told me I would be somebody one day. I ain't talking lunch break, I'm talking fucking 9 to 5. Talking red carpet, Grammy night when I arrive. Talking about where I reside, ocean on the property. Instead of living just a couple checks away from poverty. Doctor, what you got for me? Brother in the ER, never would have thought at 21 that boy would see God.
So if there's a kid out there, you know, who wants to be like you, who wants to kind of follow in the musical footsteps, what are 3 concrete things they can do right now to get started? No matter if they're in Iowa or if they're in New York, with rich, poor, whatever, but who wants to say, you know, music is my dream. I want to chase that dream like Fidel.
Yeah.
What do you, you know, what do you
I would tell you first and foremost, practice your craft every day.
Okay.
Like whether that's producing, whether that's writing. Even if you don't have the financial means to record, practice writing and reciting your raps every single day, because I'm telling you, that will get you, I think, a lot further, a lot quicker than I did. Because when I went to college, that span when I wasn't doing that, I think took away from. I would say 2 is to somehow get out there and practice performing. Okay. That's like a different aspect of like the actual art, but performing is big because we're already in a genre that kind of is like the black sheep of music. Okay. Like people look at hip hop as like not as credible as a lot of other genres, even though we have crazy commercial success, crazy influence and all that stuff. People don't tend to think of it as art in the way that they think of some of these other genres. So the performance aspect, because you're not necessarily sitting down playing an instrument, you have to realize your voice is your instrument. And so it's like, how do you use that to captivate people anyway? And then I would say the third thing is to just know that everyone's gonna give up something. Like, come in knowing you have to sacrifice something. And I don't mean that in the sense of like sacrifice, oh, work hard and stuff like that. I mean, you may say, I'm only gonna do these kind of songs, and then an opportunity presents itself and you're like, damn, even though that one thing might be against my principles, me bending on that one thing will give me 10 other things that I want to do.
Got it.
And I think that's something that I didn't always practice that I'm starting to realize is definitely useful.
Got it.
So maybe tomorrow I'll find my way home. So maybe
They say home is where the heart is.
I'll find my way.
I guess that's hip hop for me. Dig it. Maybe today or maybe tomorrow. Can't buy time, but you may need to borrow. Maybe the joy or maybe the sorrow. Either way, you in it for the ride like cargo. Gotta take it far, so never set the bar low. Young boys coming for your spot like Marlowe. Cause you know they wanna shine, yeah, we all do. Just remember, pride come before the fall. You gotta think ahead, gotta walk before you crawl. You gotta have faith, gotta answer when it call you. Gotta improve, gotta work on every flaw too. Same toilet, same shit, pick a different store. You know where you going and you know how to get there. Trying to squeeze in when you know you don't fit there. Brain say school, with that thing up in your chest say music, but you push it off to the next day. Talking about me, got a lot on my chest, y'all. Writing rhymes in the door room, on the desk, y'all. Mom's back home calling me with the stress, y'all. Pops hate work, wonder will he ever rest, y'all. Life is a bitch, I'm just trying to touch a breast, y'all. See a little change, so my family is set, y'all. But I got lost in reality, chasing a degree just so I can make a salary. Paying all work that I never see a gallery. Flow out of this world, feel I'm in a different galaxy. Things change when money is a factor. Read between the lines, same book, new chapter. Church.
Alright, so now in terms of, what's next for you, where do you see this going? Where do you, in the next 12 months to, 3 years, what do you see as, a vision for yourself? At what point is it going to be the music is your full time?
I think when the revenue, because there is revenue coming in, but it doesn't match, or it doesn't match like what I could make doing like a full time whatever. So I think for me, I would do that full time, quote unquote, when the tours are coming in, or at least even if I'm like an opening act for someone or something like that. In terms of you talking about like a couple years from now, by then my hope is that I'm being fully financed from my music, whether that's hopefully through a major label deal, and just being able to be out there, bring my music to the masses and bring my kind of message to the masses.
And what do you think is the difference between, like, not to downplay anybody else, but what do you think is the major difference between the music that you're putting out versus what's currently out there and available to kids? And what makes it appealing to the younger kids to be like, all right, I'm willing to invest my time and money into this this new artist?
And it's like two separate answers. One is that, and this I wouldn't have probably been able to say like 10, 15 years ago. One is that I actually care about the lyricism of it. And this is message aside. I'm talking about even if you don't have anything positive to say, just the art form of being nice with your craft, like being good at being a lyricist. Like people who I think were great influences on me, the Nas, Big Pun, Biggie, the people who are lyrical greats.
No Jay-Z?
Jay-Z of course.
I was about to say, but New York.
Jay-Z of course, but people who are really like lyrical. And I feel like that, Eminem, people like that, but I think that's kind of lost for the most part right now. And I think I still have that kind of golden era lyrical going in kind of edge beyond message. And then when you get to like the actual content, I think I definitely have something different to offer, because I don't think I'm like creating the wheel or whatever. If anything, I'm just not even reinventing. I'm just using what was already there. But I think I'm one of the few people who's trying to like bring it back to talking about what really relates to you.
Got it. Thank you so much for joining us today on Dream Chasers. We'd like to thank our guest Fedel for being with us today and sharing with us some of his journey as he chases his dream. For more, check us out on the web at www.butnowwhat.com. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Cut.